Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ife Artistry. If this is your first time seeing my video, you are highly welcome, of course. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. You are a darling and may God bless you. Okay guys, so in today's video I'm going to be teaching you guys how I transform my beautiful clients from this her face that you know to this beautiful glowy, you know, like succulent makeup look. Okay guys, so let's get into it. Okay guys, so first of all I started with cleaning her face with a micellar water and the wipes. So I clean to remove every hidden dirt from her skin. After that I'm going to be using a cotton wool and a toner, Fisher's toner. This is a Tyre's facial toner, you know, so I use it to equally clean the face to remove any hidden dirt and equally to balance the pH level of her face, you know, like basically get everything seated before we get into the makeup process. Okay guys, so after that I use the fan to dry up the makeup. You can see how her face is very dry. After that I'm going to be using the Correct Snail moisturizer to hydrate her skin. So this is going to be the first moisturizer I'm going to be using on her. So first of all I'm going to be putting that, when I place that on the face, I'm going to use my brush and get it everywhere on her face. I'm going to make sure I place it like, you know, like generally get it everywhere. So after getting it everywhere, I'm going to use my hand now to massage it into the skin. That is after I've left it on her face for a while. So you can see how hydrating this face is actually getting. This was actually my goal. I want to achieve a very hydrating finish at the end of the day. Basically a dewy finish. Okay guys, so after that I'm going to be going into the Embis moisturizer. This is equally a very good hydrating moisturizer. So I'm going to equally be placing that on her face. So I'm going to ask her to look up and make sure that I get that very well under her eyes. That is a very important place for you to get your moisturizer. Okay guys, so I made sure that was there and I equally get it everywhere on the face. Like I blended it everywhere on the face. When I'm done blending, I'm going to leave it on the skin to sit for a while. After sitting for a while, then I will now come back and start blending it with my hands. And remember, before you blend product into the skin, make sure you wash your hands and sanitize. Okay guys, moving on, I'm going to be using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer to hydrate, you know, and equally prime her face. So I'm going to be blending that everywhere on her face except the under eyes. I'll make sure the primer gets everywhere because this primer is the major thing that is going to help me hold this makeup for a very long time. So I'm going to make sure it is well blended into the skin. It's well blended into the skin. Okay guys, so I'm equally going to use my hand to massage this very well. After that I'm going to be using my Merak skin prep to, you know, like as equally a primer to try and control the sweat, any sweat that might come out on her face during the course of the day or anything. So I'm just trying my best to control anything that I can. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be using the Becca primer to prime and help prime her T-zones and equally control the oils that might be coming out of her face during the course of the day. Okay guys, so when I'm done with all that, I'm going to just put the primer everywhere on her T-zones, everywhere beside her nose and every place. After putting that on, I'm going to be using my setting spray, that is the Milk Hydro Grip setting spray, to lock in her makeup, to lock in the spray that I put on. Okay guys, so after that I'm going to equally dry and then move over to the foundation. Okay guys, so I mix my Huda Beauty foundation and my Nas foundation. You can see how lovely these two products is, guys. Like the mixture of the two foundation, the Nas and Huda Beauty, is my go-to when it comes to bridal jobs, guys. If I'm doing a bridal job, mostly Huda Beauty and Nas. I'm just a little bit of Loreal much, but in today's video I'm just using the both of them, the Huda Beauty foundation and the Nas. So I mix the both of them together and I am telling you guys, like it was just a little pump that I actually used. I placed on her face and just blended it everywhere and it was beautiful, it was lovely, and it was nice. So when I'm done blending it all over everywhere I wanted, then I went ahead with her concealer. So in today's video I'm going to be using the Younger Beauty concealer in the shade 1, and then I'm using the aucoin concealer, of course, in the shade 10, I think, in the shade 10. Yeah, I'm just putting that beside it. You know, like I could have actually blend this foundation, the concealer like this, but you know, it was still very light, so I wanted something that is a little bit dark in the outer part. That was why I added this last one. Okay guys, so after that I begin to blend it in. I'm going to tell you guys something. My concealers, I'm the one that spread it this way. Like the concealer is not too much, it was not much, it was just like I'm the one that spread it like this to make sure that the blending is going to be very, very easy for me. And you can look at when I'm blending it, you see that it blindly blends in immediately. It's not like I'm not really forcing it to blend in. Okay guys, so one thing that you're going to do that can help you with your blending is your beauty sponge, because my beauty blender is a very good beauty blender. I get a very good one. It's going to really help your life, so make sure you blend very well. Okay guys, so for the contour, I'm going to be using my Avon Cosmetics foundation for the contour in the shade 030 and 020 mixed together. So I mix the two shades together to get a contour shade, because I feel like the foundation and the highlighter is already a little bit lighter, so I just needed to tone down her skin tone. Okay guys, so you can see the way I'm adding the contour shade. I am blending it upwards. That is how you add your contour. So just make sure you blend upwards. Do not blend downwards. Like, do not apply it downwards. It should be coming up so that it can help lift the person's face or the client's face. Okay guys, so after application, I just make sure that I blend very, very well, and make sure my beauty blender is really, you know, like doing the job, heating and doing everything possible. Okay guys, so moving on, still, you know something, at the end of the day, sometimes when we are doing the makeup and all that, things, you look at it, you feel like, oh, things are not really, you know, it's getting scattered. Yeah, but definitely if you know what you're doing, you're going to realize that it's going to come back together very soon. Okay guys, so moving on, I just did contour the nose. After contouring the nose, I begin to add the blush. So I'm using my lip stain as usual. If you have been watching my videos, you know that I use lip stains as my blush. Okay, so I'm using my lip stains, and I'm just, you know, going ahead to blend them very well, making sure that I blend it into the contour and equally a little bit, like it's going to move into the highlight, but like definitely highlighting is going to be moving into the contour, into the blush, then blush into the contour. That is how it goes. Okay guys, so after a while, after blending the contour and the blush, I'm going to go back to my highlight and then blend it out, especially the ones under the eyes that I didn't get to blend initially. So I'll now go ahead and start blending it out. Okay guys, so equally still on the blending process, I make sure that everything, before I begin to set, I make sure that I am done blending everything under the eyes. Guys, please just make sure, it's not like this that it just went right now, everything just went. It was as if I didn't take my time to blend this, because like the video is a bit faster. I actually made sure I blended this very, very well before I begin to set. I promise you that. Make sure you blend very, very well before you move to another stage or before you move to another step. Okay guys, so before I begin to set, I'm setting the under eyes with Merak Cosmetics setting powder, and equally I'm using a powder puff to set this process as well. So my thing is just make sure you blend very well, make sure there is no harsh lines, make sure like you've done your part, so that because if you leave harsh lines, it's going to really come back tomorrow to hurt you. Okay, yeah, not tomorrow, immediately after then it's going to start hurting you. Not tomorrow. Okay, so after doing everything, the blending and all, I just go ahead and start setting the low lights, you know, like on below the contour. It's called the low light, so I'm going to start setting that as well. So I'm using my normal powder to set that place that has her powder, skin tone powder, like the powder that is her shade. Yeah, so I'm using that to set that. After setting that place, I'm going to be setting the contour as well. I'm equally going to be using the contour shade of powder to set her contour. Do you understand? So I don't go ahead and set contour with her normal powder shade and then start coming back to add the contour. No, I don't do that. So I'll rather set the contour with the contour shade, set the highlight with the highlight shade, you know, vice versa. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm equally going to be setting the nose contour with the nose contour shade, and I'm equally going to be setting the blush with the blush shade. So like it's basically set like I'm going to just redo everything I've done in the what is it called, in the liquid shade, liquid space or anything. I'm going to do same with when I have powder as well. Okay guys, so moving on, I didn't actually film. I realized I didn't film when I tamed down her brows, but I did tame down the brows though. So after taming down the brows, I begin to outline my brows. So I'm using the Huda and Esther brow gel to outline the brows, and you know, I'm equally outlining brows with Merak Cosmetics angled brush. Is a very tiny angled brush that is very, very good for brows, you know. And after that, I'm using my Davis pencil in the shade 003, of course, my lovely shade. I'm going to be using that to, you know, like fill out the brows. I'm going to be equally filling out the brows using the light strokes that I do all the time. Okay guys, so yeah, that is what I'm doing, and I'm just, you know, like filling out the brows. After filling it out, I'm going to use my mascara wand or my spoolie brush to, you know, like brush out the hairs and make sure that everything is okay and everything is intact. Okay guys, moving on, afterwards I'm going to go ahead and start concealing the brows. I'm going to be concealing the brows using my Huda Beauty concealer. Yeah, the concealer I used in her under eyes. I'm going to be using that to conceal the brows, a lighter shade, and I'm equally going to be using a darker shade, little bit darker shade for the beginning of the brows here, because I don't want the beginning of the brows to be very, very light. Okay guys, so after doing that, I'm going to be using my brush to blend everything in. Yeah, because I don't want to, you know, like I don't want my brows to, I don't want the concealer to stay there and dry up immediately. So I'll rather go ahead and blend them immediately I'm done. You know guys, so I don't know, but this brows is actually good, but it's not really giving me the excellent vibe. You know, one of those days when you finish doing the makeup, but you look at the brows and you feel like, it is what it is. I think that's how I'm feeling for this brows, because honestly I'm not understanding, but it is what it is. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be setting the brows. I'm setting the brows with my powder, just a lighter shade of powder, especially for the brow bone. So yeah, that is it. So after setting the brows, I am done with setting. I'm going to go ahead and bake so that I can get ready for the eyeshadow. So I'm using the same Merak Cosmetics setting powder to bake, just adding a little bit of setting powder in under eyes, basically to brighten the under eyes and the quality to catch fallout. But I don't think I'm doing any strong eyeshadow that might actually cause fallout, but still I still have to add it. Okay guys, so for the sake of this video, I'm going to be using my Huda and Esther brow the brow gel that I use for the brows. So I'm going to be using that for the eyeshadow base, because I want to go for a darker shade of eyeshadow. So, and I believe that if you want to achieve something nice, honestly, use if you want to achieve a good smoky, use the color of the eyeshadow that you want to go for. You are going to really enjoy it and you're going to love the outcome. So for this video, I'm going to be using the James Charles palette, eyeshadow palette. I'm going to be picking this brown shade and the dark shade too, and I'll be placing it on her eyelid. You know, when I place this product on the eyelid, so I'm just going to quietly place it on top of the brown shade that I use for her primer, right? So I'm just going to be placing it there quietly. Guys, do not mind my hands. I don't understand how I did the editing anyway, but it is what it is. Okay guys, so as I'm saying, after that I just go ahead and smudged everything out, you know, like blended everything out. And after that, I'm going to be adding a little bit of an orange shade just to use and blend the brown out, you know, to make sure I don't have any harsh line at all. So that it is. After that, I just added a little bit of the brown again, and we are done. Okay guys, so I'm going to go ahead as well and blend the under eyes and smudge out the under eyes as well with the same shade, the same brown shade. I'm going to be using that to smudge out the under eyes. So basically quietly smudging it out so that I make sure that everything flow, because of course the upper part of the eyes is already dark, so it's just very okay. It's going to be very mutual for the under eyes to equally be like that. Okay, that is actually a reason for me to catch fallout though. I was thinking I didn't do any eyeshadow that is dark. Okay guys, so after that I'm going to be lining the eyes with my gel liner. So I'm using the Zaron gel liner, guys. The Zaron gel liner is a black liner, so, and it's very, very good. So I'm going to be using that. The reason why I'm lining the upper part, I don't even know, because honestly it's really not necessary. It's not necessary for me to line it. Like, I could have actually left it that way, so it's not necessary for me to line it because the eyes is already dark. So, but I still did line it, and yeah, sometimes some things I can't just overlook and not do them, you know. Okay guys, so after doing that, I equally smudged out the under eyes, and I went ahead and fixed the lashes. I think because yeah, I did explain that this client's lashes is really difficult for me to fix, so I think I really fixed that off camera, and it is. So after fixing and after doing everything, I go ahead and set the rest of her face. So I'm just like resetting her makeup and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and just reset the rest of the makeup and everything, you know, like not just like resetting it, just re-emphasizing on everything I've done, because I've gone ahead to, you know, do all these things before. I just go ahead to add the blush again, add my highlights, you know, like just re-emphasize on them. So afterwards I'm going to be using my cheek glaze too. I'm going to be adding my cheek glaze again on the face. I'm going to be adding the cheek glaze on the cheeks basically, and of course her cheeks was actually glowing initially, so just to bring it back basically, I'm just adding all these things, the cheek glaze. After adding the cheek glaze, I go ahead and set the makeup with the Charlotte Tilbury spray. This is a very nice setting spray. Like when you set your makeup with this spray, especially when you have done a nice job, it's going to really bring everything together, honestly. So after that, I go ahead and use my fan and dry it into the skin, and I equally use my beauty blender and blend it into the skin as well. Okay guys, so after that I'm going to be using this Fenty Glow. I'm going to be adding the Fenty Glow. So I'm just blending everything. I'm just going to be adding that on the highest point of her cheeks basically. So yeah, just added that, and after that I'm going to equally be using my pencil to outline the lips. So this is a pencil, this is a dark pencil, lip pencil that I've been using for a very long time. So I'm just going to use that to outline the lips, and I'm just going through her lip line, because I don't want to overdo it, especially the lip stain. I don't want to, it was not a do or die affair, and I think at this point I was equally tired of the makeup, because oh my god, let me stop saying I was tired of the makeup though, because I'm not tired. I don't get tired when I'm walking the ball. At this point I just wanted the lips, the work to be done, so that I'll be done, yeah. But actually the client, she didn't want something serious, it was just something mild, yeah, and that's what I was giving her. So I added the nude lip stain inside, and then added something, yeah, that was actually the color she wanted. If you look very well, you see that she kept looking at the mirror to see if that is the shade she asked for, and of course that's what she wanted. She wanted this simple, and of course that was actually what I was praying for, because I love it when we're almost at the end point and everything is going smoothly without stress. Yeah. Okay guys, so I just added the nude again, and I just love these lips at this point, honestly, because I love it when it's very, very natural and very, very nice. Yeah, very, very natural. So I added my gloss on the lips as well. Just quietly add my gloss, and yeah, everything was looking okay, everything was looking so good, and the client was happy and I was happy too. Okay guys, so after that I used my Soap Pro setting spray, fix spray, and I sprayed that on the face, and of course Soap Pro makes things correct, make things right. honestly. So I set the face with my soap pro setting spray, and I use my beauty blender to push it into the skin. And guys, this is the end of the makeup. The client was looking so beautiful, the makeup was looking so beautiful and very nice. You can see, like, this is not a picture, this is a video, and I love the outcome. I hope you love it too. Please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye.